Hey guys, how's it going? If you saw my previous video, you'd know that I'm finally accepting the fact that winter's here. We've got snow, we've got ice, we've got crazy cold temperatures. It's like 15 degrees or so right now, and I'm already losing feeling to my ears. My hands are starting to get cold even through these thick, crazy gloves we've got. Just like last year, and the year before that, 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 I am late to the game in terms of getting my motorcycles officially winterized. Today we're gonna do just that, so without any more delays or procrastination, let's get to it. Now, before we get to the bikes, quick garage tour, I guess, slash update. Here we got my 1994 Dodge Viper, which is currently dead. Well, not really dead, but it doesn't drive. The differential has gone in some sort of manner. And so now it's become my winter project, for better or for worse. Now on to bike stuff. Basically right here we've got my brother's 2005, 2006, late 2000s Honda Rebel 250. And right here we've got my dad's brand new 2018 Yamaha FZ07. And then of course I've got my 2015 FZ07. Over here I've got my 1996 Honda Shadow 1100. And right here I've got my 1982 Suzuki 650E.
At Suzuki, we believe performance is more than an awesome display of power.
That's a rebuild bike project that I've been working on for way too long. And then behind that I've got my 1975, I think it is, Honda CB125S. And that's somewhat of a project bike now too, because it loses voltage when you rev it and it will stall out. And looking through the wiring, I found that there were some very grossly significant chunks of wires missing. It looked like some mechanical monster had just kind of chomped a big bite out of the wiring harness. And actually I want to do some stuff with the Honda Shadow as well. That paint job, flake, whatever pinstriping stuff that is slowly sort of falling apart and coming off the bike. So I think I just want to repaint the bike. But that's the third project in line. Right now it's number 1, number 2, and number 3 for bike projects. But for now, I've also got some stuff for this guy, as a matter of fact. So going back to the FZ build, I have a few more pieces for this guy. With all that said, let's get to winterizing the bikes so I can get inside and regain feeling to my fingers. So full disclosure, I already have partially winterized this guy. When my brother and my dad brought their bikes over and we took one last ride together, they fully winterized their bikes, and I did the initial steps with this one, such as fill the tank, put stabilizer in it, and then run it to get into the system. Now basically all I need to do is get the battery out, get it on a tender, and then plug up a couple orifices so that if any stupid little pain in the rodents, no not rodents, if any stupid little pain in the rodents get into my garage and find their way to this bike, they can't or won't be able to get into the exhaust system or my air box. Let's keep rolling this guy back. Alright, so it's pretty basic. Seat off, battery out, cover holes, and that's all I'm gonna do. So first step is getting the seat off, and yeah. Oh god, I'm already losing the battle against this cold. Oh man, so cold. Alright, Allen wrench, edge up. These seats are awkward to get to these bolts, especially with semi-newish,
brand newish 2005 Chevy Malibu.
Very rugged, sturdy seat covers on them. Alright, I lost that battle too. Gotta take the gloves off. Come on. Alright, that's one. Alright, that's two. And seat is off. Alright, so now, gloves back on. So now these bolts out. Great. So yes, I just dropped the bolt down. So now I gotta go find that. That's too small. I always forget that I try not to use screwdrivers on these bolts because they slowly get stripped out. I'll use this instead. Glove off again. Get that out of the way. And put that back. Alright, now for the positive. And what I've learned over the years is that you start with the negative and end with the positive, so that if you accidentally touch metal against metal while you're on the positive, or you won't create sparks, which I have done before, so this is a good lesson for everybody. Now positive is off. So now we're ready to get the battery out, and this is always a huge pain, and one of the tricks I've learned is using rubber gloves helps you just get a little more grip. Let's see how my luck is doing this time around. Yeah, it's not that great. It's still a pain. I think this is the one single most huge pain in the ass about this bike. The geometry of this just doesn't lend itself at all to being able to get this thing out. It doesn't help when you can't feel your own fingers. Oh my god. That is such a pain. I think that's exactly what I said last time when I did this. Alright, this time around I'm gonna put my underseat bracket battery frame thing in here. I'm gonna put my nuts and bolts in here too. Ping pong balls in to help deter any rodents that find their way into the bike. I've talked about that in previous videos. Take this opportunity to tape up the air intake, which is easier said than done. I think it's so cold the tape is like, this tape is like brittle. Ice, it's like literally like breaking like it's ice. Alright, so that's good enough. Seat back on. Now we're gonna do the same thing with the exhaust. Alright, roll this guy right back into place. Alright, now it's time to get the battery inside and hooked up to the tender, so let's go do that. Alright, and like I said outside, connect the positive first, and then connect the negative second. Make sure they're both securely on there. Turn your power on. And watch that baby charge. Oh yeah. So now, even though the sun's going down, it's getting even colder. Let's head back out and we'll do the Honda Shadow.